Alright, so welcome back. My name is Urbiner Pilot, and tonight I decided I'm not gonna shy away from Nintendo stuff. Um, I originally didn't think about doing it because I know there's a bunch of uh, issues with Nintendo and Let's Players, but I realized I'm not making any money off of these videos. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play some of these bad boys. I hope you guys enjoy them. I, for one, am a big fan of this game. Tonight we're going to be playing Metroid, as the title says, which was made back in 1986 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. This one's kind of an interesting one. I don't know if it's this game or if it's Zelda 2 that's my absolute favorite on the system. Then again, I'm always finding new games for it. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it and play. So push start. First two things that come up are two options. You've got start, which starts the game obviously, and then continue, which is a password screen. From here, you can continue your game, or if you want, you can enter in some cheat codes and stuff. There's plenty of them. They're all equally great, except one, but that's more of a joke. This is kind of their solution to battery backup saving. So this system doesn't have like a hard disk or anything like that. There's no memory card. So the game cartridges themselves had to have the save options on them. So not all of them had it though. There was only like a few that actually did have it, like the Zelda games or what's another one? I'm sure there's another one, but it's just not coming to mind. But the ways those worked was they had like a little watch battery in them, soldered to the circuit board, and that stored all your save memory. Well, not everybody had them, because like I said, it was kind of expensive to do that at the time. So to make up for it, they had password features. So, every time you die, or in this game's case, if you pause the game with the first controller and then push up and A with the second controller, you can get your password for the game and then save it for another time. Which meant, you had to write this stuff down on pieces of paper and come back the next day with that piece of paper. Otherwise, you had to restart. But since we're going to be doing this as a Let's Play, I'm not doing anything fancy. This is the original way to play it. I just want to make sure that my drink is not on the floor. And let's go ahead and get to it. Very iconic entry by our protagonist here, Samus Aran. For sake of a review, I'm going to not talk about this character very much. I will say this character is, in my opinion, pretty important to gaming, but we won't figure out about that till the end. Unless it slips, it probably will, but that's okay. Anyway, controls are pretty simple. I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So, unlike most side-scrolling games back in the day, most players, they'd go to the right in all their games, like Mario or Mega Man. In this game, it actually tells you to go to the left, because down here you get an item upgrade called the Maru in the instruction booklet. It would later become known as the Morph Ball, and that's basically what I'll call it for this thing. But instead of crouching or crawling, Samus can actually curl up into a ball, and the character can move under cracks like that and stuff. Pretty cool. By far the best mobility upgrade you'll get in this game. We'll get more, but for now. it works. Anyway, left and right, aim up. Can't aim down, that's from Morph Ball. Basically, you have 3 directions to shoot from. Kind of limited. And right now, as you can see, our weapon doesn't even reach across the screen. Ours is just a standard, very limited blaster. Or in this game, it's more so a beam, but... or at least that's what they call it anyway. Beams are more like... well, no, I guess that's a ray, so we'll just call it beam. Anywho, we've got all these little monsters that run around and try and kill you and stuff. That little ball right there is your energy. If you look up in the top right, or the top left, you'll see your energy counter. Most enemies will only take away like 5 points of, or 5 points of energy, which can add up, so, you know, be careful. But later on down the road, you'll come across stronger enemies that will typically take about 30 damage away from you. But anyway, so our goal of this game is to get to the end, obviously. But at the end, we have to destroy the Metroids, which is why this game's called that. Metroids are a very dangerous alien species that can basically suck anything dry of energy. In later games, it shows them being, you know, turned to nothing but powder, basically. So they're kind of like space vampires. But they don't do the blood-sucking... oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm just getting distracted. So, yeah. Kill the evil space vampires and defeat the boss of the space pirates, Mother Brain. Later on, probably in the next game I play, because I'm thinking about just doing all the Metroid games. I've been in kind of a Nintendo mood lately. I'll explain more about the story and stuff, because this game, for an NES title, obviously it's not going to have very much story. I mean, unless you have the manual, which basically just describes everything that I said. The Metroids were taken from somewhere, and now the space pirates are using them against the Galactic Federation. Very cliched title, might I add. Oh, I already got what I needed. That item that I just picked up, the box thing that was over here, is the missile expansion, which allows Samus to shoot missiles. Won't really be using them too much on enemies at the moment, but the more that you have later on down the road, the better. It makes this game a heck of a lot easier. But for now, we're going to use them for doors, much like the one that I just went through, except those ones, they only need a beam shot. There will be red doors and I believe 2 orange doors that you'll come across, which each take their own certain amount of missiles to blow open. Red ones take 5, orange ones, if they are really orange, take 10. But fortunately there's only 2 of those, and there's only so many red doors that you'll come across. I'm sure a lot of people on YouTube that have reviewed this game will probably talk about those caverns that or the numerous caverns that you have to jump up in this game. It's kind of daunting, because if you do fall off one of those platforms, you know, you're gonna go a long way down unless you can catch yourself. But you know, even then, that's pretty rough. That was a missile pickup, by the way. So you can reload your ammo. There's one of the red doors. We'll shoot. That turns Samus blue, meaning that she's shooting missiles now. I didn't go through that door because if they follow behind you, they can actually go through as well, and they'll take out damage on Samus, which is no fun. Anyway, we just picked up the long beam, so now our beam actually shoots all the way across the map. Or the screen. I think it's also a little bit stronger too. Provided I can use it right and not get hit. But anyway, now we're gonna see if we can get 5 more missiles just from killing these aliens and stuff. Oh, thank goodness. One thing that I will say about this game, the game's fun, but it definitely isn't without its flaws. One of the flaws is that regaining ammo and energy and stuff is a real pain in the rear. It's later fixed in the sequel, thankfully, with you know, ammo and energy replenishing stations, I guess. In this game, though, this is pretty much raw. You basically have to collect your ammo from enemies wherever you go. So, doesn't sound too hard, but as you may have noticed just from those two alone, some don't drop any items. And normally, when they do drop items, it's usually energy. Even if you are at full energy, they will continue to drop it and drive you insane. At least I've been driven insane by it. So let's say you're in the item room of a new item, and you get to that door and realize, oh man, you've only got like 2 missiles in your inventory. You have to go back and forth and shoot those enemies and get those missiles, which can end up taking quite a bit of time. I think there's a certain amount of enemies that you kill, and then the game just goes, oh, well, that's enough items for you, and then nothing will drop items. I can't confirm that, but I also can't deny it, because it feels like that every now and then. In here, I think there should be another missile pickup, though. Or somewhere along the way. If not, we should be getting another pickup that is relatively helpful in this game. Yeah, so that item right there is the energy tank, which means more energy for us. It looks like we have only got 99 energy, but that little blue square up there has like 100 more. So, pick them up when you can. There's like 8 of them in this game, I think. 8 or 9, I don't remember. That orange stuff below us is dangerous, if you didn't hear that. I don't know if it's just magma in this game, but in the remake Zero Mission, they changed it to acid. But that game has a reason for changing that, because it's one of the features, or it's relative to one of the features you get with a certain power-up, which we'll be getting after our... Well, actually, not after too long. I want to make sure that I don't jump too early like that. And see if I can dodge these guys. Ah, he followed me through. But anyway, just got bombs for the morph ball, which basically completes the... Wow, he is just being a jerk today. Which basically completes your mobility for, getting under things and stuff. It allows you to defend yourself, which is always a plus. And then, makes for getting rid of enemies below you that you can't crouch down to kill much easier. And wow, I got all my missiles back in this room. That never happens. Streamer luck for sure. Normally it takes me like 5 minutes to get those things back. And that's with all the travel that I have to do to get to the other room that we're going to next. So now we've got morph ball bombs, which is pretty essential for the later part of the game, mostly for the end, provided you know you're not too good at dodging enemies, because there is an enemy. Well, I'll go ahead and say it. The Metroids themselves, you do fight them, and they are the strongest enemies in the game. There's only one way to defeat Metroids, and that is with Ice Beam, which is what we're going to pick up next, and missiles. 5 missiles once you freeze them. Nothing else will kill them. However, if they latch onto you and start sucking your energy out, the only way to get them off is by bombing or morphing into Morph Ball and dropping bombs all over the place. You have to get them at a certain angle. Oh man, I went in the wrong one. Okay, for this, I'm going to do that little trick with the second controller, because getting up there is a real pain in the rear. There's our password. Don't copy it. Just kidding. But yeah, that'll take us to the very beginning. I'm not going to write that down because, well, I'm not going to write anything down. Because for this, I'm going to go through it in one run. This is a pretty short game if you know what you're doing, which I do. I know my roommate tells me I shouldn't, or I really should be trying new games for streaming purposes and stuff, but some games I just can't resist. And honestly, I just love the joy of sharing games that I have played with you guys and stuff. It's fun. But anywho, as you can see, because we did that, we are back to 30 energy rather than the energy that we were at. Every time you start up the game, you will always be with 30 energy rather than what you were left with. So, that's not too terrible considering how many items you can pick up. Now, let's say it's in like the last area of the game, Torian, where the Metroids are. That can be kinda manageable, but like I said, if you're bad at dodging Metroids, you know, you're gonna have a pretty hard time. That's basically like falling in the lava in this game, which is no bueno for me. It will suck your energy so fast, you won't even have time to say oops. For those of you who don't know that, that was a quote from Spy Kids 3, I believe. Me and my roommate were talking about that the other night. It was interesting. We were talking about how there might be or how it would be interesting to see them do a crossover with Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I'm not even that big of a fan of the series, but I think it would be kind of cool to see that. They're both made by the same company. There's a little weird texture thing going on there. It happens, though. Anyway, let's not go down the wrong pit there and get that ice beam. I always forget which one is which. I know this time it's the second one, though. Which brings up another flaw with this game. You can't really blame the Nintendo games that much for it, because it's just the way Nintendo was. There's, you know, hardware limitations and stuff like that. A lot of these rooms look very similar to each other, due to sprite limitations and stuff like that. So, you know, that's why I fell down the wrong chasm there. Another thing, with Morph Ball bombs, you'll be able to bomb certain pits there. This is fake lava, by the way. I might not have mentioned that before, but you know, in rooms like that, typically you're looking at fake lava. But you bomb the floor, and then you go down, and there's a whole nother area for you, which is usually an item pickup room. However, in some games, it can be like progression, so. Anyway, let's go get that ice beam. make like Iceman and give everyone the cold shoulder. Well, with the ice beam, looks like we're going to be going to Norfair, I think. If I really want to, ugh, not jumping high enough. Looks like I can make it, but I can't. So I'm gonna have to time my jump and damage boost my way up there, which I should be able to do. There we go. Cool little trick in case you guys are wanting to get into this game. Saves time, because technically this beam power-up comes up later. And that's not the only place you can get this beam. You can also get the beam, or the ice beam, in the next area we're going to, which is Norfair. That's how you're supposed to get it, but since the ice beam is so important to the end of the game, it's a pretty good idea to pick it up early. Ultimately, it's the only beam that you're going to need in this entire game, minus the long beam, but that's mostly just an upgrade to your beam size. So, but there is another beam that you can pick up. We're going to hear the beeping from low energy. There is a monitor that will, or there's a notification that will let you know, hey, you're low on energy, which is this really annoying beeping noise that you get when you get down to, I think, 15 points of energy. Yeah, 15 points. You can get rid of that noise by getting your energy back up, which is what I'm going to do right now. Actually, I should have went somewhere else before going down here. You'll notice that these guys infinitely spawn. I'm pretty sure that was on purpose because of how much item farming you're going to be doing earlier on in the game. And just in general. Let's say I don't do so well against Mother Brain. You know, I'll have to find one of those and go to town on some alien farming. Or item farming. Which definitely drags down the time of this game. And for this playthrough, I really want to get through it as fast as I can. Not just because of time constraints and stuff, but also because, well, it's crucial to getting the perfect ending. Which I will not be getting on the first run. I'll be getting the second best ending. And on the second playthrough, I will be getting the absolute best ending. Let's go left first. Show off this guy real quick. Certain enemies have certain behavioral patterns. If you get close to this guy will drop down and try to kill you. Which is what he's sadly trying to do. Pretty much like the fly enemies from earlier. Oh, okay, so it's 16 damage when it starts beeping. So we're gonna be a little careful here, freeze him, and grab our missile tank. And hopefully in this next room we'll be able to find a way to stop the beeping. Morph Ball comes in handy for these specific areas. Norfair is full of like secret passageways and stuff, so be sure to have Morph Ball bombs when you come down here if you want everything. Ooh, no, come on. Alright, I'm gonna see if this guy has any energy. 'Cause I could really use some energy right now. Both in-game and outside of the game. Timing. Wow, he had 20 energy on him. That's pretty dope. Norfair is also full of item pickups that you can use to your advantage. I strongly suggest you do it too, because it makes this game so much easier when you have, like, how many can you pick up here? Probably like 30 pickups. Each of them sporting 5 missiles, so, you know, you're getting up there in missiles. And then with boss fights, they drop 75 missiles each. So, you know, after the first boss, we're going to be pretty set on missiles. But don't stop there, because that last boss area, that's going to be hectic on your missile supply. And you'll be begging for missiles everywhere you go. Especially in the last room of that area. Because not only do you have to beat Mother Brain with missiles, and the Metroids as well. Well, you don't even need to beat the Metroids. They're kind of just there as enemies. They'll respawn if you go too far away or whatever. Ugh, that did not work as planned. But, you know, Mother Brain herself is only able to be defeated by missiles. And she has some barriers in between you and her, which take, I think, 15 missiles to destroy. And they regenerate their health. And, you know, with a room full of full of turrets and stuff trying to kill you, you can get bounced around pretty easily. So those things will be regenerating their health very fast. But, you know, so long as you prevail and, you know, remember to pick up a energy tank before coming down to dangerous places, unlike me, you should be fine. I don't think I mentioned this yet either. Certain enemies have, or look the same, but are colored differently. Usually if they're red, that means that they are the stronger version of the original. The white ones of those guys, the spiky dudes, they're the stronger version of these blue guys here. Not too important, just, you know, make sure you know that when you're going and fighting them. Anyway, now that we've got those 2 missile packs, let's go ahead and venture over here. Ooh, he's being daring today. Fortunately, he did not see that I was equipped with missiles and took the wrong turn. You would think that taking on the stronger enemies would yield more energy, but it's pretty much the opposite this time around. Yeah, let's get that just in case. Ugh, I missed the timing on that entirely. Oh man, I died. That was just me not paying attention. It happens. Fortunately, it wasn't like in the middle of Norfair. Otherwise, that would have been a little demoralizing. That's alright. That won't happen too much more after this. Whoa. That's what I should have done earlier. Just freeze them in place. Alright, now we get to go to these caverns here. Or chasms, I guess. So, here, like I said, you know, look for bombable spots. Typically you can see them because they'll have a bunch of those little blocks like that one there. The little see-through ones. And it'll just be a line of them with maybe a purple rock in between. Anywho, we're going to go in here and pick up pretty much our last maneuverability upgrade. Everything else is either a weapon or an upgrade to your armor. Yeah, we'll pick that up. Get out of here. Those little seahorse guys down there, by the way. Oh, well, we didn't need to be down there anymore anyway. Um, those seahorse guys, they can either shoot fireballs at you, or on some occasions they don't shoot them at you. I don't know what triggers them to do it, but when it happens, you know, they do a bit of damage, so keep your eyes open. Oh, it's a missile pickup. If you leave the item that one of those bugs drops, you can make it so that they stop spawning out of that tube until that item is either taken or it disappears. Oh, man, don't die now. We're gonna go pick up the next item. It's kind of like just freezing an enemy in place. They have to wait until that enemy either comes back up or dies. And then if that item's there, you know, they still can't come out. I'm sure there's a reason for it in the game's coding or whatever. I'm not gonna delve into that too much. Although I will delve into one little thing that you may be noticing. When there's too many enemies on the screen, the game does significantly slow down, which is very apparent in these areas. If you get more than 4 characters on the screen at one time, you will slow down. That's pretty much just the Nintendo saying, hey, you've got way too many sprites on your screen, and I'm going the wrong way. Ow. Man, I just got that beeping to stop. Come on. Wow, the one time I don't need missiles and they actually give me missiles. Weird. I hope that Turian goes that well, like the first item room. It probably won't though, because I just mentioned it. Oh, come on. That wasn't very nice. Oh, really? That's okay. We'll go back. And it'll be a-okay. Actually, this is probably perfect because there is an energy tank that I can pick up here in the next room. Oh, wasn't paying attention. We'll be going down that hole in a few moments. That'll take us to our first boss area. Whew, almost got hit by that spiky guy. Anyway, our item is going to be right where that guy just fell down. We are going to use him to get what we want, which is that thing there. And I think I might... Nope. Oh, man. Cooperate. There we go. Very nice little E-tank upgrade. Definitely comes in handy. But after this next item that we get, you know, energy tanks are still important, but you don't need them like immediately. You can pretty much beat this game with you know, just one tank or even no tanks, to be honest. There's plenty of speedrunners that'll use tactics to get through the game with the bare minimum. And in the remake of this game, there's actually a specific way to get an ending by only getting like half of the items that you normally get in the game. So, pretty nifty. But I, for one, don't like playing the game that way, which is why I will probably never get that ending. Ah, wow. I prefer being a completionist when I can. I'm not going to be getting every item in this game, but I am going to be getting a majority of them. In the next game that we play, if I play it, will be a 100% completion run. It also won't be a timed run, so I can actually slow down and show you guys some things and stuff. Ugh. That stinks so bad when that happens. That also stinks too. I really shouldn't have done that. That block will come back, but it's there specifically to slow you down. That's just bad luck right there. So that guy that just hit me, not that guy, but the little brown thing that hit me back there, that guy is unable to be damaged. Come on, that was cheap. They can't be damaged. Only the red ones can, but they can only be damaged with missiles. So keep that in mind. My roommate just sent me a photo. Interesting. Oh, and he sent me another one. Sorry, dude. Gonna have to wait. It's probably just a meme anyway. Oh, get in there before he gets in. Oh. Anyway, this item is called the Varia suit. If you looked at her just now, she turned kind of a pale white. Well, okay, not a pale white, but she turned a little bit lighter. This suit reduces damage done by enemies and by lava, which is fantastic for certain areas. Specifically in Norfair. But I wanted to get it before we went to go after Kraid, our next boss, because it does make boss fights relatively easier. And with 3 energy tanks, he'll be basically a pushover. Some people go after the other boss in this game first. There's 2 mini bosses, and then there's the main boss, which is Mother Brain. The 2 mini bosses are Kraid and Ridley. Ridley is definitely the easier one to go after. However, I recommend, going after Kraid and then going after Ridley afterwards, specifically because of the area. Because at that point, you'll have plenty of missiles to go and explore rooms and stuff and pick up missile tanks and a couple energy tanks here and there. Did I not pick up that energy tank? Sorry, I noticed that I've only got 2 energy tanks, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. Could have sworn I picked up another. I got the one down below. I got the one in the ceiling. Oh, that was just a missile. There's another energy tank up ahead. Getting ahead of myself. That was weird. That guy was turtle guy for a minute and then turned into a fly all of a sudden. There's the energy tank. And perfect freezing placement. So I can pick up that energy tank and then go back. That way we can save some time and take care of the big bad boy, Kraid. That was a very bad placement for freezing. It looks like I'm not really caring too much about, walking into enemies and stuff. That's because I don't really care at this point. Like I said, with Various Suit, half of your damage is absorbed. So, walk into enemies as you will. Definitely keep an eye on your energy meter, but typically enemies like those spiky guys, they only do like 4 hits of damage. So utilize that suit to whatever end. And with 3 energy tanks, I'm not too concerned about losing any at the moment. Honestly, at this point, the only thing I'm worried about are missiles. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to pass up on energy tanks. I'll definitely be picking those up, but I'm not concerned about getting killed at this point. So, because there's like 2 more energy tanks that we're going to pick up in Kraid's lair, and then in Ridley's lair, I think there's 2 that I might pick up. I am going the wrong way. Sorry, I'm a little hungry, and I've got this pizza next to me, and it's kind of distracting me. That, and I'm sitting on a really comfy couch, which is just perfect. I think I might have gotten too much sleep today, but that's alright. See, a lot of people get discouraged by falling down these sections. For me, the discouraging part is having to go back down them. Because, you have to go and you have to sway back and forth and stuff. It's not like an accident where, it almost intentionally puts you all the way at the bottom. I wish that's how it worked for when I needed to get down there. But alas, it doesn't. Anyway, bomb this section here, drop down, and take the elevator down to Kraid's lair. So before I go to the boss, I am going to go through here and pick up some stuff. There's 1 energy tank that I'll pick up. I might save that for the end, actually. Yeah, I'll just save that for the end. There is an energy tank down here, but I'd rather save that before getting out of here. Because every time you pick up an energy tank, it does give you energy back. Which at this point, I should probably pick up some energy, but whatever. I'll be fine. Kraid's kind of a pushover if you know what you're doing. Cool little trick there. If you drop in Morph Ball mode, push A, you'll come back up as if you're standing in midair, rather than with the falling animation. And with that, you can jump a second time. Very helpful for certain areas. Particularly if you get stuck in Norfair, because there's some pits that, you can get stuck in, because you can't jump high enough, even with high jump boots. Which isn't so much a deal breaker for me, so long as I'm not using the invincibility code, which I have used, and it sucks every time you fall down like that, because that's basically, you know, if you didn't know that you could jump up like that, it's pretty much a dead game at that point. We're gonna go ahead and farm some energy here, because I'm a little nervous about going against Kraid at this point. Not too big of a deal. Fortunately, it's energy that I need for this occasion, which, like I said, they almost always drop compared to missile drops. Not to say that I wouldn't mind getting some missiles. What do you know? I think this controller might have some issues with the buttons. It's a little delayed. I'm pretty sure I'd be fine going against Kraid at this point, but rather not take my chances just yet. And this is probably wasting time for the ending too. Well, actually, no. I think to get the second best ending, which is the one that I'm most likely going to end up with, all I gotta do is beat the game in less than 3 hours. I think for the absolute best ending, you have to beat it in under an hour. Which, fortunately, you can do on the second playthrough, because you keep all your items after you beat the game. And, well, you keep all your items except for missiles and the energy tanks. So you have to go and find those again. But everything else, like Varia suit, high jump boots, ice beam, wave beam, whatever beam that you have, all that stuff that you find in item rooms, you will keep. Which is fantastic, because having to go through farming for missiles again just to get ice beam and stuff, that would drive me nuts. Unless you have the wave beam, then you'll have to go and get the ice beam again. Although at that point you should have the ice beam, because you need it in Torian to fight the Metroids. Almost ready. I promise I won't be doing this with Ridley, because I have a very special way of taking care of him, which will utilize the wave beam, so it's not entirely pointless getting it. I think my well has... Oh, never mind. With that, I think we're good enough to go for Ridley. Kraid. And there's Kraid. So, best way to defeat him, freeze those two projectiles, run into him, blast him to snot with missiles, and when that fails, just walk into him and blast him to death with your ice beam. You'll take damage, but like I said, with Varia suit and 3 energy tanks, even just 1 energy tank, you should be fine. And here's an energy tank just sitting there. This, as far as I'm aware, is the only way to get that energy tank. Bomb next to that block, and then hold right, and it should drag you into it. He's gonna wait till I go through that door. Oh, never mind. Anyway, now we got 4 energy tanks and a bunch of bugs and stuff trying to kill us with very mean faces on them. Now, as for the, in my opinion, the hardest part of the game, minus the fight against Mother Brain, climbing up this thing. Technically, if I wanted to, I could just hit the pause button and do up and A, but for this specific occasion, I don't really want to do that. But that right there is essentially why it's there as an option, because with that damage boost trick that I showed you, that's helpful in those areas, but it's not helpful when you're trying to climb something like this, which when I did the up A trick in the beginning is exactly why I did the up A trick. Climbing up that section there was a real pain in the butt, and it's still a pain in the butt to me to this day. It's almost not even worth it at that point. So since I have Raya suit, I'm just gonna crawl through this. Those guys won't hurt me because I'm already taking damage from the lava. So it acts as kind of like an invincibility buff or whatever. Although you are taking damage considerably from the acid. However, just not nearly as much as those fly guys. Actually, no. Let's not go this way. We can go up by freezing those guys. That guy's wigging out. That'll happen if you open a door while an enemy's on it. I don't know why he did it there, but they'll kind of just spaz out and flip all over the place. Kind of funny. Oh no, is he not gonna show up? There's usually 3 of these little guys here. And then you can jump up all the way, but he's not gonna show up, is he? We'll try one more time, because I'd really rather not go through that. Ah, whatever. We'll go the long way. That's mostly my fault, though. I should have froze the one guy under us as we were getting out of that room. This isn't too much of a time waster, though. Really, this is the way you're supposed to go up this area. Anyway, go through that door, and then it should take us to the other door that was on the other side of the door we took to get to Kraid. Right there. And we're gonna go ahead and do 2 things real quick. There should be a missile expansion. Actually, I think there's one in there, but we're not gonna get that one. There should be a missile expansion in this room, if my analysis is correct. Oh yeah. If you see something like that in this game, you're most likely gonna see something on the other side that's important. However, the problem is getting up to it. Because if you noticed, there were 2 ways to get into that wall. Take this one, because most likely that bottom one took you to where that fly just flew through. Thus not allowing you to get too far. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, we got 75 missiles from Kraid. I know I already mentioned that, but yeah. Oh, apparently you can go through here. Ooh, that was a really weird freeze right there. Anywho, let's go get that energy tank and then start making our way over to Kraid. We will get 2 pickups before we go and beat him, plus like a bunch of missile tanks and stuff if we have time. I figured out you can actually beat Ridley relatively easily with just, or not Ridley, you can beat, what's his name? Is this the wrong room? Oh no, this is the wrong room. Well, we'll go in here anyway. Oh, I thought this had the energy tank in it. Or the other room had the energy tank in it. My mistake indeed. I just hope there's something in here. I don't know, I never go through these passages because I for one don't like having to waste my time in these areas. There's not a whole lot to do in them either. They're more just for wasting time. In fact, I guarantee you the only door that we're going to be able to go through... Oh, never mind. We can just keep going higher and higher. But I bet you there's no payoff down here. Yep, it was a dead end. So basically, this area is completely pointless. There's no power-ups that you can pick up. It's literally there just to waste your time. So, yeah. Again, my fault for going, or for getting distracted, I guess. But that's okay. Not losing too much time. And the payoff will be good if we can get to that one section that I really want to get to. Without dying, preferably, too. Which these guys are going to test my patience for. The fly guys in this game are probably the worst part of this game. Or at least the worst enemy in this game. No mini-boss or amount of Metroids can compare to just how annoying those flies are. Specifically these flies. Everywhere else, you know, they can be kind of an annoyance, but they're not nearly as annoying as the flies. Maybe it's the face. I'm pretty sure it's the face. Anyway, this is the room I meant to go into. So now, thankfully, we did it at this point, so we can get all of our energy back from all that time wasting. Only to drop into the lava to get it lost again. Nah, we're still good. Anyway, like in Kraid's room, just bomb your way over there. Can't take that bottom passage. We actually have to go up. There we go. In later games, they make bomb jumping a lot easier to do. In this game, it's kind of, meh. By the way, I haven't even mentioned the soundtrack in this game. This area right here, Kraid's Lair, has probably the most enjoyable music in the game. I think all Metroid music's done fantastically. I just think that, you know, for this game, Kraid's Lair probably has the best. In Zero Mission, I don't think they did the soundtrack all that much justice, except for the titles, the title theme. That theme is done beautifully. I don't know how they did it so well, but oh man. Such a peaceful soundtrack. Almost sounds like a lullaby. Anywho, we are going to go back to Norfair, where we'll pick up some items, and then from Norfair we will go to Kraid's Lair. Wow, I'm getting my names mixed up all over the place. We will go to Ridley's Lair. So Ridley's Lair, not much to say about it. It's kind of bleak. It definitely has a very nice color palette compared to some of these areas. Bryan Star is kind of boring, which is where we're at right now. or maybe it's Brinstar. I don't know. Kraid's lair is just gray and dull. Norfair, it's mostly just purple. But then when you get to Ridley's lair, it's like pink and purple and red and all kinds of colors. Makes it feel more like an alien area. Which, for those of you who don't know, this game was somewhat inspired by Alien. Mostly aliens, though. The famous Ridley Scott movie. In fact, I'm pretty sure this movie was entirely based upon that because well, like I said, we're going against a boss named Ridley, so that's obviously an homage to the director. But the stories are very similar. Find a mysterious alien life form that is basically the ultimate life form, in that it is the deadliest life form. And, yeah. Ah. And your job is to, go and exterminate them. Only thing this game is missing is some H.R. Geiger looking aliens. Not the xenomorph aliens, but just something that looks more like H.R. Geiger would have drawn. Anywho, back to Norfair. We're gonna continue going to the right and exploring some of those doors that we skipped past earlier. Before leaving this area, I will show off how to get or where to get the ice beam in this area. It's not too far from where we're at right now, actually. It's basically in that first chasm, but you simply go up instead of down. In later games, they make it so that you can carry more than one beam at a time, which is pretty cool. I liked Super Metroid's beam carrying a lot more because in the menu you could actually turn off beams and do certain special abilities with them. So, for wave beam you can make this weird little wave force thing. I don't remember the name of it, but it was pretty cool. Anyway, we're gonna go in here and pick up some missiles, because I believe there's missiles here. If not, we might find a beam down here. Or something. Gotta be something here. Maybe. The long wait. When we get the next item, that little blue guy there, or the little ball guy there, he'll probably be our best friend. Because he'll have plenty of energy to give us, which we will most likely need before getting to Ridley. But the next item will allow us to take care of enemies relatively quickly. Anywho, this is why I like Norfair. Plenty of missile tanks just left and right. So, you get 5 missiles every time. It's a perfect way to build up quite the arsenal for later bosses, specifically Mother Brain. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure you have missiles when you get down there, because nothing is going to drive you more crazy than having to go back up and harvest for missiles over again. Or if you get to the very bottom of Torian, where Mother Brain is, and you run out of missiles just trying to get to her. That is annoying, because then you have to go all the way back up, because no other enemy is going to drop any power-ups in that area. The only two enemies that you're going to be fighting besides Metroids, or no, just the only other two enemies you're going to fight down there in Torian besides Mother Brain are Metroids and Rinkas, which are little ball things. They will not drop anything though. They are specifically there to dish out the pain. And dish out the pain they do. They take like 10 points of damage away from you every time they hit you. Now, fortunately, they only spawn in certain areas, but they spawn in some of the most inconvenient areas. Actually, do I want to go further down? No, I want to go in here. Sorry, trying to remember where everything is. It's weird. I did a practice run of this, and I'm having such a hard time remembering where everything goes and stuff. But if it's anything like Zero Mission, you go through here, and there should be a way to get either the wave beam first or the other item. I'm leaving that one kind of ambiguous because I don't know. I think it's a pretty neat little surprise that they give you. Ah. Oh, I really hope that going down this way gives us the item. Oh yeah, this will give us the item. Interesting texture change. Texture change. A little more pink and stuff. I think it's more like foreshadowing at this point. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, Norfair has a lot of hidden stuff, thanks to these little breakable blocks and stuff. If you go in here, there is the item room to our next item. By far the best power-up we will get in this entire game. Makes killing enemies so much better. That is the screw attack. Screw attack does one specific thing. Every time you go into a rolling jump, you'll see that she'll flash a couple times. That flashing means that she is essentially able to damage enemies, and I think it makes her invincible in that time frame too. But basically, just roll jump into enemies and kill them left and right. It is the best item for taking out heavier enemies like these, because it normally takes them out in one hit. You can use it on mini bosses too, like Kraid. It's really helpful against. Ridley, not so much, but that's because Ridley's already kind of a pushover to begin with. You guys are gonna love how easy it is to take that dude out. Anyway, I'm gonna go further down and get a new beam. For those of you who have played this game, you probably already know what it is, but for those of you who don't, I think I might have already mentioned it. Oh, thank goodness, I'm going the right way too. You know what, let's just skip that. One common thing about NES games is the infamous knockback, which is what you experience every time you get hit by an enemy. It happens a lot. It's not so bad in this game though. I think it's more prevalent in Konami games like Castlevania And there's, oh no. This is one of those chasms where you can get stuck in. Not hard to get out of, just a real pain in the butt to get stuck in. If you do get stuck in it, just roll into a ball, drop a couple bombs, push A, let the bomb hit you, and then when it hits you up into the air, if you're in that standing animation, jump. You'll get out in no time. Anyway, I think this is our item. Yep. So in here we're going to pick up the wave beam. The wave beam is the strongest beam in the game. Does not freeze enemies, so when we do have to go into Turian, unfortunately we will have to give it up for the ice beam again. But for the sake of just showing it off, I will get it for Ridley because it does make really quick work of him, rather than wasting missiles, which is something I'm kind of trying to conserve at this point, so I don't have to do too much item farming. But this beam has one really cool feature. The wave beam can go through solid objects like walls. That's pretty much all it's going to go through, though. It doesn't go through enemies, sadly. But in a later game... Wow, I am having just the toughest time getting over there. In later games, they will make it so that there is a beam that will go through enemies. In fact, in Metroid 2, that one also goes through walls. But that one, it's kind of a rough concept. Super Metroid's kind of where everything goes full circle, and everything kind of just becomes the best of the best in terms of functionality. I really wish there was a way to get back up there through here. But in Super Metroid, all your beams combine, which makes item management a lot easier. Why did that block not break? One thing I should mention about those blocks there, if you break like 8 of them, you have to wait until those blocks respawn before you can break any more. That's not just specifically for that one square of breakable blocks, that's for all of them. So... That's weird. Oh, okay. I think that should... Oh. Let's go in here and see if there's any more missiles. I don't think there's any more. That was kind of a cheap shot. Pretty sure there's missiles in here, though. Oh, every time. Little gumdrop platforms here. Be careful not to shoot them as you're going through because they will be destroyed. They will respawn though, so if you do shoot one, it's not the end of the world. But does kind of slow you down a little bit. Now at this point, I don't really need to use them. I can just walk over them and stuff. Anyway, I think in here we're gonna get a bunch of missile packs. I could be wrong though. There's like this one room that has like 5 of them just right in a line for you. But sadly, I don't think this is the room. This room might be though. Nah. Maybe. Oh yeah, this is gonna be it. Oh no, it's just an energy tank. That's still pretty cool though. So we're pretty much filled on energy tanks at this point. Any energy tanks that we get after that will just be energy refills, which is fine. Uh, Makes energy management not too big of an issue. You would think that they'd add at least one more energy tank that you could use, but sadly that is not the case. Ugh. Really wish I had my energy or my ice beam at this point. But anyway, um, maybe that missile tank is, or the missile tanks are all gonna be when we go and get the other section. Oh, this is gonna. Oh, okay, never mind. Um, Maybe those missile tanks are gonna be up, like, in the room above the ice beam. I really hope so. I don't want to miss out on those. I mean, I'm pretty good on missiles right now. Especially after Ridley. I'll be just fantastic on them. But, I want to be able to show off that room specifically. Because for new players, that's, you know, a godsend. Anywho, let's get back up there. Can I get up that way? Probably not. Nope. Running, running, running. Almost out of here. Get hit by that guy. And... oh. Fortunately, those ball guys won't follow you through. Very small platforming. I think that's the only time you ever step foot on anything like that. The hitboxes for those are precise too. They're not just for show. I was thinking about waiting on playing this game till summer, because I feel this is more like a summer game for me. Then I was like, you know, summer I'll probably save for more of the arcade games. Winter, you typically want to stay inside, and, you know, a good adventure game is typically what you want to play. So they take a long time, and all that jazz. And I was thinking, you know, maybe I'll do an RPG, maybe not. Because RPGs, I've only beaten one RPG. Or, let me rephrase that. I've only beaten one JRPG game. And that was Final Fantasy 4 or 3. I think it was 3. And then I also was like, I'm not really a big fan of RPGs to begin with. The only reason I beat that game was because it was a long car drive, and I needed something long and fun to play. Not to say that I don't like completely or I'm not like totally against RPGs and stuff. I just think that a game should be you know instant gratification for the most part, and that's really weird because I'm really against like people that say, oh, why do these commercials have to block our way and stuff. Uh, I actually kind of like commercials for the most part. Well, okay, I like the older commercials and stuff, like the ones that you'd find on Nickelodeon in particular. I love those commercials, especially the joke ones. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. This area is Ridley's lair. Uh, Pretty easy to get through. We're just gonna run through here. With Screw Attack, everything's pretty much pwnable at this point. To harken back to the early 2000s. um, oh, I went through the wrong door. There are missile tanks through here. I'm not gonna focus on any of them though. I think missile tanks here are kind of a waste of time because this place is confusing to get through. Um, Although I do think it's one of the prettier places to go through. Everything's purple and you got pink and red on the wall and stuff. The only thing I don't like about this place, besides it being really hard to maneuver through, is the music. The music in here is annoying. Not even, bands like Metroid Metal can do that any justice. It's just, in my opinion, a dead cause. Sorry for any of you who actually do enjoy the theme here, but I don't know. I just can't stand it. I think it's very repetitive and sounds. It definitely sounds sinister, but that's about all that I get from it. Doesn't sound futuristic or anything like that. It's just sinister and boring. Ugh, that slowdown is terrible here. Anyway, we're starting to see the boss blocks. So let's go in here and see our boss. And that is Ridley. Not Ridley Scott, just Ridley. He looks very similar to a xenomorph with his head, but that's about it. Anyway, here's where the wave beam comes in, making it, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game, especially for this area. It's strong, it can go through walls, so if you have that Varia suit and plenty of energy tanks, heck, even one will suffice, you can just sit under here and pump them full of wave beam. And even then, like, I'll even show you guys just how pathetic this guy is. This guy is a total cakewalk. You can literally just sit here and he will not hit you. Totally different fight compared to Ridley, that's for sure. And with that, we just defeat Ridley. That door right there is not orange, it's more like a purple, but it's basically an orange door. So, you already shot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very rare door, but it has a really nice little treasure at the end. Provided these guys don't destroy you before you get to it. Our last energy tank for this playthrough. Anyway, we now have a butt ton of missiles and a butt ton of energy. So let's get back up to Norfair we'll go get that ice beam, hopefully. If not, I'll just go get it in Brinstar. And we'll go and defeat Mother Brain and stop the Metroids. Definitely the quickest area in the game, in my opinion. As literally all I ever do in Ridley's area is just go straight to Ridley and, you know, kill him off and then leave. I'll take that energy tank any day because it's the easier one to get to. Because all that fake lava around it. There's only like pixels of real lava down there. And they're pretty easy to get past, so. I do believe that Ridley probably has the deadliest, what's the name of it? Whatever this place is. These little corridors or whatever, they are just death incarnate because of all those little respawning enemies and stuff. The little enemy tubes. They're everywhere and they just fire them off left and right. Though, they are nowhere near as annoying as the ones in Kraid's lair. Mainly because you know where they're gonna pop out of and stuff. They don't just come out of the floor. There was one more energy tank down there that I could have picked up, but you know, I think I'm pretty set on energy and everything at this point. Plus, I'm also gonna need to get going and defeat Mother Brain before my time frame goes up. And then, if I have time, I'll beat this again before closing the stream tonight. Just so I can show off the best ending. Man, that stinks. Because that one will take no time at all. But I think I might split it up into 2 streams. I'll probably finish up maybe Friday night? Or not Friday night, Thursday night. Wait for it, and then jump. One thing I do recommend about doing in this game is, you know, grab yourself some grid paper and make a map, or nowadays just go and print off a map from Google Images or something, because it does make navigating a lot easier. There's a lot of rooms that look very samey, like I was saying earlier, which can make this game a bit of a nightmare at times. So yeah, here's that missile area that I was going to show off earlier. So there's one missile tank. It's probably not 5 missile tanks, but there's plenty of them. There's another one, and I'm sure there's more on the other side. Or there might not be any at all. That was a long drop. Okay, yeah, there's nothing to drop through there. Very weird looking lava. It's all white except for that little spot That's really trying. Anyway, this room has our ice beam. So I guess I didn't find that missile room, unless it's in here, but I doubt it. Anyway, there's the other location for ice beam. It was the door underneath the one that we went through. But we now have ice beam again, and we can go up to Torian and complete this deal. And Samus can go home with a hefty paycheck. Oh, I hope I went down the right way. There's one door underneath the one that I have to go through, and I always mix the two up. So I'll almost always go through the wrong door and then end up in a completely different place. It slows down everything. But fortunately, I got that one on the right try. Alright. So now we just travel back up. Ouch. Go through there. And then we climb all the way up. Now, normally I'd be looking for a place to farm for missiles, but the cool thing about Torian is it is filled with Metroids. But no, what makes those cool is that they have a very interesting item drop, which is you know, it's not going to be anything like a complete like energy fill, missile fill thing, but they every time they drop energy, it's 30 energy, and every time they drop missiles, it's 30 missiles. So pretty good to farm on them in general. Just, you know, make sure that you have the missiles to farm off of them, and you know, hope to God that they do drop missiles, because there have been plenty of instances where, you know, you'll go and they'll drop like energy every single time, and it's terrible. You'll run out of missiles, and then you'll just have to go up and farm off of the well out that door. Anyway, since we beat Ridley and Kraid, this kind of explains why we had to do that. We have to build the bridge to Torian by shooting these statues. If you go up here before, they're just standing upright like that, and they don't build the bridge. But anyway, let's go down and face our enemy, the Metroids and Mother Brain. Metroids will be the first thing that you see down here, enemy-wise. In fact, one should be right there. Big, fanged, and pulsating. Shoot it, gets 30 energy for us. And again, you have to have Ice Beam in order to do anything to them. So freeze them, and shoot them with missiles, and then repeat for every other one. And like I was saying, they're gonna drop a lot of energy, but I'm not seeing any missiles, which is kinda worrisome at this point. There's the infamous orange door, which takes 10 missiles. The second of two. Those are Rinkas, and they spawn as soon as you step through that door. So, yeah, you're gonna take damage. There's a way to get past it, but you know, unless you're a speedrunner or really know this game by heart, you're gonna get hit by them on your first try. Come on, something's gonna give me missiles. Oh, nothing's giving me missiles. It's all energy. Maybe this guy will. Oh, come on, man. Give me something. Just anything at this point. Besides energy, okay? Will you give me missiles? Please? No? Okay. Oh, no, come on. There we go. Back up to 91, so there's a start. But I need more, man. I need, like, a lot more. And for these Rinkas to get off of me. We almost got latched on by that guy. No more. I want energy or missiles, man. Come on. I don't think there's any more Rinkas, but well, at least as far as being combined with Metroids, so that's pretty good. Oh, come on, man. Give me some missiles. This is like the best chance for getting them. Thank you. Yes! Oh, thank goodness. I love when you get 2 in a row. Makes the world go round. 3 in a row. 4 in a row. Woo! More energy. Anyway, this is like the best farming spot in the game. Just run through, rinse and repeat. Oh, that was beautiful. Is that all the missiles that I have, though? Only 200? Oh, I hope not. I'd really love to have more than that, just to be on the safe side. I'll make it through, but yeah. Anyway, I do need to go through just right now anyway, because I like to start off by taking out the little barriers. The manual calls them zebetite. But take care of those, then go back and farm on Metroids again. Ugh, that's terrible. Like I said, they take a lot of missiles. That's why I stressed, you know, get a butt ton of missiles before coming down here. And having screw attack makes quick work of those Rinkas. You know what? Maybe I won't even need to farm at this point. I really hope not. I'll farm just in case, but I should actually be doing that right now, but I'm gonna take my chances. I like to live dangerously. Not really. Ooh, that was really good. There's no real good strategy to taking them out. Just hug them and then shoot them with missiles. And hope that your screw attack works when there's Rinkas around. And There we go. Anyway, before we leave, that's Mother Brain. But we're gonna leave real quick because I'm about to die. Oh no. I could stick around, but oh, come on. Don't let me die. I'm too purple and cool to die. Ooh, you got a pot shot on me before I got out of there. Missiles? Nope, energy. But this time I'm a little more grateful for it. Yeah, see, that's what I like to see. Metroids and bounty hunters working together to make a brighter future for tomorrow. By the way, in the manual it says that this character that you're playing as, Samus Aran, is a bounty hunter, and that's kind of why she's on this mission, um, specifically for the bounty. It doesn't really go further than that, though. Um, as far as bounty hunting goes, she pretty much just... I gave away the secret. Oh, I'm sorry. Just ignore what I said. I'll still act surprised at the end anyway. I knew I was gonna do it. Maybe I should just go through the post footage and just bleep it out or whatever. Nah, I don't have time for that nowadays. I need to learn more about editing though. Probably make my post-stream footage look a little more professional. Man, this is just the best run through of this Turian area I've ever had. If I wanted to, I could just run in there right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and get all my energy back up. And try to get my missiles back to normal. In the remake of this game, I think you can do the same thing, in that you can exit the boss room and then go and get more missiles. For the most part. Oh! That's an example of getting latched onto by a Metroid, and that was an example of me getting out of it by using my bombs. Those bombs really do come in handy. Anyway, we're back up to 200 missiles. And we're pretty much back up to full health. I'm just gonna go for it. The cool thing about those Zebetite wall barrier things is that they don't respawn after they die, which makes this area so much easier. Considering you can just run back and get all your ammo and health replenished. But anyway, let's finish off the interstellar bad dude, or bad dudette in this case, once and for all. And we're gonna do that by blowing off her glass thing, or shield, or whatever, and we're just gonna pump her full of missiles. Not really sure which is her eye and which is her behind, I guess. Pretty sure what we're shooting at is her forehead, but I could be wrong. But anyway, this is pretty much all you do to this boss. There's no other way to defeat it, or to defeat her. You just gotta shoot it with missiles until it dies. You'll see that it'll start pulsating more and more as it gets closer to death. It'll stop pulsating a little before it's about to die. Before she's about to die. These Rinkas are the only hard part about this fight because they knock you off. Mother Brain herself doesn't do anything. She just kind of sits there, sits around being pretty. Anyway, we just stopped her, and she is dead. Sorry about the flashing there for anyone who's epileptic. Fortunately, it doesn't go on very long. But anyway, we're not done yet. Now our missile count has turned into a timer. I don't know what shooting missiles does. I really hope it doesn't lower the time anymore. If any of you want to try that, though, let me know how it turns out. But anyway, just jump up here. Very tight platforming. Not too hard to do, though. They give you more than enough time to get out of here. So it's not like Super Metroid, where if you want the absolute best ending, you know, you have to go out of your way to do stuff. Anyway, great, you fulfilled your mission. It will revive peace in space, but it may be invaded by the other Metroid. Pray for a true peace in space. And she's whatever. She's flashing, and it turns out Samus is actually a woman and not a man. I don't know if she's the first female protagonist in a video game, but at the time, most female characters in video games were amounted to as, you know, your goal for the game. In this game, you actually play as one. So I think it's kind of cool. You know, they're giving them a little more of a purpose in the games at this point. Then again, this was from like 1986, so you know we've come a very long way. But yeah, at the time that was like mind-shattering. Very cool to see that in a game. But that's not the reason I love this game. I love this game for many, many reasons. It is a very fun, very quick game in a way. And with the old game, I like it specifically because you can do anything in any order that you want. In all the games after that, they typically have a set path for you to take. You know, in games like Super Metroid, or in the game Super Metroid, you know, it kind of goes back to the roots in that you can go tackle anything however you want, but you still have to beat, or you know, you're typically led in the right path every single time. Anyway, we'll get more into that later on, but that's primarily why I like this game. But anywho, we're at the end page. I'm gonna go ahead and do it one more time. This time shouldn't take too long. On YouTube, I might split it up into two. So if I do, you know, let me just go ahead and start by saying, welcome. We're gonna be doing Metroid one more time. This time for the best ending. Now, here's the cool thing about getting that ending that we just got. That ending and the best plus ending will get you into a new outfit. This is, in this game, termed the Justin Bailey outfit. It is basically just a leotard that she wears, or whatever, with some pretty killer space boots. This is the only time in the Metroid franchise where you can actually do this. In every other game, I don't think you're able to utilize any special ending bonuses or whatever. Except like maybe a higher difficulty that you can play, which unlocks more endings as far as Metroid Zero Mission goes. But that's about it for for bonus endings and stuff. This game's just kind of special like that. Which I have no problem with whatsoever. It actually makes you want to play fast and see what kind of stuff you can do. And plus, there's so much replayability in this game. You know, like I said, you don't have to go in the order that I went. You can go in any order that you want. In fact, this time I might actually go and take on Ridley first, just to show off that you can. In fact, you don't even have to beat mini bosses to begin with. I recommend doing it though because, you know, like I said, you get a lot of missiles for doing it. But you know, even the speedrunner that did the world record time for it, even if it was a task bot, you know, tool assisted speedrun, you know, even he went through killing one boss just for the missiles alone. So it's still relatively worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and you know, I'll go ahead and get the one missile pack, or the one energy tank and missile pack up here. But I'm gonna save that last one till we get back up, or get ready to go and take on Mother Brain. That way we don't have to worry too much about energy being lost before going into Durian. I was originally just gonna go get them all right off the get-go, but I think I'll be strategic about it this time. Like I said earlier, though, you don't have to worry about going and collecting all your items. You still maintain them after beating the game. All that's missing are your energy tanks and missiles, which are easily able to be found once again. So it cuts down on game time tremendously, which is why getting the super best ending in this game is so much easier to accomplish doing a second playthrough, which is why I'm doing it right now. So yeah. If I have any more time after this, I might show off some of the codes that you can do. Because, like I said, there's some codes that that truly make this game even more fun to play. Like if you just want to play the game casually and stuff, and you don't want to have to worry too much about you know, the difficulty and whatever, you know, you can go ahead and turn on the NAR password, which is basically you have every item in the game minus energy tanks and missiles, but that doesn't matter because it also gives you infinite missiles in and of itself and makes you invincible. So pretty neat little code. I used to use it all the time for playthroughs. I think it's by far the best code in video game. Well, okay, that might be more so the Contra code, but it's definitely one of my top favorite codes to use. It's good for when I just want to go through and blast up some aliens and stuff. You still have to take out the mini bosses unless you do the speedrunner route and you just do some fancy moves or whatever. I prefer still just taking out the bosses with it though, because that's all part of the adventure. But anyway, let's go down to Kraid's lair, or not Kraid's lair. I cannot talk anymore. Ridley's lair and take out Ridley. not a whole lot left to say about this. Uh, I can talk a little more about the endings. As far as endings go, it's all time based. There's no, you know, get this many items for this ending or whatever. That ends up being in games like Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion and stuff. Um, and those are just for specific endings. Unless you're going for a 100% run with only an hour on your time, then you get like the super best ending in those games. I for one have never been able to do those. I'm not that fast, especially when I'm going for all items. I've done all item runs though, um, and I prefer doing those in those games because it's easier to keep track of everything, especially in Metroid Fusion. Fusion actually has a counter after you beat the game, I think, which tells you, how much of one item or how many of a certain item is in the map or whatever. Makes finding everything a heck of a lot easier. But anyway, we're not gonna do that for this time. When I get to those games, that'll be what I'm primarily doing. And I can show off some of the bonuses for some of those games. Metroid Prime in particular, I might do a little bit differently because the cool thing about Metroid Prime is it has uh, some interesting utilization of the Game Boy Advance, which is really cool for a GameCube game to do at the time. I remember going nuts when I saw something like that on the back of game covers because it would always tell you, if it's two-player or not. But some of them would say, "Oh yeah, it's got Game Boy Advance compatibility," uh, which usually meant there was like a special mode that you could unlock hooking up a Game Boy Advance to it, or in the case of Metroid Prime, you could get like a bonus item or whatever. In fact, I might just erase my game data and show that off when the time comes, or maybe I'll just start one up on another. Uh, can't think of the word. On another memory card or whatever. Because after we play our next game, Metroid Zero Mission, I'll be jumping over to Metroid Prime. And for those of you who are still waiting for my Halo 3 playthrough, I know my friend Clark's still waiting for it. I'll get back to it. Uh, in fact, probably after Metroid, I'll more than likely get back to Halo 3. I've been feeling kind of Halo-ish lately. I don't need to go up there. I'll take Ridley on with the ice beam this time too, just for fun. I kind of want to go in there for missiles, but I think I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. This is my first time ever taking on Ridley before Kraid in this game. I've done it in Zero Mission, but that's kind of just for bragging rights. He's actually a lot harder in the later Metroid games, especially Fusion. Or, not Fusion, Zero Mission. And that game has a hard mode, so you can only imagine how much worse it gets on that mode. Because in this game, he typically just stays in one place. The roles kind of switch between Kraid and Ridley in the later games. Um, well, the later games that actually have Kraid in them. Because Ridley is very, very agile and can go just about wherever the heck he wants. Ridley is in almost every single Metroid game. I think the only one he's not in is Metroid 2. And if you want to get technical about it, uh, Metroid Fusion, that's not the real Ridley. That's more of like an imposter Ridley. An imposter Ridley. See if this guy... Oh, he did drop energy. Kind of running a little low. Want to be a little more careful around here. Ah, I went down the wrong door again. Dang it. Such a bummer every time. Oh, don't let any of them follow me. Whew. Get a little spooked every time that happens. Run, 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 run! Oh, that was bad. I lost a lot of health in that. I'm almost dead. Goodness. Need to get my head in the game. Fortunately, just one more area, and then I should be scot-free. No pun intended. Oh, I hope I survived this area. If not, I may have to go and, Ooh, no! Come on, man, don't jinx it now. All you gotta do is walk up to Ridley and just shoot him. That's all. I hope. Unless he changes his pattern this time, but that would be really unlucky of me. Ah, no! No! Come on! Go, 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 go! Run! Technically, I could bomb him here too, but I don't want to risk it with how low on energy I am. It would be quicker than this, though. Alrighty. Whew. Now we can just get to that energy tank without losing any health from the guys in there. Oh, I'm gonna lose a little. Oh my gosh. Go. No! We were so close, man. Oh. It's okay. We can do this. I am gonna take a little detour though. I'm actually gonna go pick up the energy tank over here. Which is not there. Oh, please don't be an invisible pit. See, there's one problem about getting this specific energy tank. There is an invisible pit in the bottom of the room. I also forgot about that. Don't think I need to go up there though. Ugh, do I really want to go through here? Oh yeah, I wanted to go through here. It's safe. Once I get past these guys. Oh no! Oh, please kill him. Oh, thank goodness. Ugh, invisible floor pit. Nothing over here, but we did get a missile pack. Was it worth it though? Not really, as we did lose a bit of health here, and I'm probably not gonna make it out of this area alive. Ooh, nope. I need to find a way to get rid of these guys. Let's see if I can get their health without dying. Alright, let's go back down. Slowly. And I think no, the energy tank isn't here. I'm just gonna throw caution out there and just use my missiles to clear up these guys. Though it can't take too long, otherwise I might lose. Oh no! See, screw attack is like perfect. Kills everything in one hit that needs to be killed in one hit. Sounds like the cat might be scratching something. Oh, right. I need to do that. I don't know why I did that. No, come back. Oh, wait a minute. I remember now. This room's just weird. So, in order to get onto the other side of that wall, you need to bomb a hole in the ground and then take a secret passageway underneath everything here. And then by doing that, you not only dodge those bad guys up there, you also get to the other side. I hope I can still make my time in this. That's one thing I'm always a little worried about in this game. There's the energy tank, but you can't get to it like normal. You gotta be careful. Like that. There is an invisible pit in that area, and it stinks every time you get stuck in it. But fortunately, I managed to pull it off. And then get pushed right back into the fray. Let me at him, Scoob. There we are. So then we just go back. We'll go get that energy tank in in Ridley's area, and then keep on going. Ooh, that's not good. Ah. Please stop. Oh, thank goodness. I should have just stood up and jumped out of there. I don't know why I didn't do that. Maybe I'm just playing too much Metroid. You know what? Forget that energy tank. We're just gonna go up and do the rest of this. I feel I've wasted enough time down there. We're gonna go to Kraid, get that stuff. That was weird. Clipped on my gun. I mean, technically I'll be an energy tank short, but considering I'm saving the one in Brinstar till last, I don't think it'll affect me too much. I'll still have like full energy tank pickups, but I just won't have that last one that refills all my energy. I guess that's where the Metroids come in. And I should go through here and collect missiles. Yeah, I'll go through. Because if I don't, I'm afraid I might won't or I probably won't have enough missiles to take on Mother Brain. Ah, that's perfect. Alright. Sorry, I'm kind of quiet. Um, but like I said, there's not a whole lot left to talk about this. This is mostly just going out of my way to get items and stuff. And even then, there's not a whole lot of items to get. Um, I mean, it's pretty much just like the last time. So, we're just running through, grabbing things that we need, and going from there. Yay, gumdrops again. And a seahorse. And whatever those things are. I always thought they were like little octopus things. In Zero Mission, they look a little more intimidating than that. Here, they kind of just look like octopuses that are squinting their eyes. Whoa. Oh, okay. I was like, did I go the wrong way? Or what? So I was thinking this was the item room location. Oh, I was screw attacking too. Come on. Well, now that I picked that up, I think I should, or that last energy tank that I pick up should just be a refill. Kind of hoping there were missile tanks down there, though. Ah, get out of my way. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna need any missile tanks. I think I'll be fine just going through Turian with how much I have. Because I've still got plenty of it. I just gotta be kind of conservative with the amount that I have. What I'll probably do is I'll probably go in there and I'll probably just take out the zebatites and then run back, or take out one zebedite at a time, and then after I take one out, go back, refill, and then rinse and repeat. Because I think it'll be a little bit safer doing it that way. I really hope that's the case. Because, like I said, I don't want to waste too much time going through here and just, you know, wasting time getting missile tanks and stuff. Because it does add a lot of time to what should be only an hour-long thing. Plus, I've kept you guys on this video for far too long. Unless I do split this up, in which case, well, suck it up. Ah. I was thinking about doing some Sega Saturn games for a run sometime soon. Um, the problem is though, with all the Sega Saturn games that I have, with the exception of Panzer Dragoon Zwei, uh, I don't really have anything like too crazy in terms of uh, long games to play. They're more arcade games and stuff, which is fine. I think that arcade games kind of they aren't intended to be, you know, well, some of them are intended to be beaten, but I'm not gonna get heartbroken if I don't. I think of those kinds of games as just for entertainment and whatnot. But I think I'll save those for summer, which is kind of why I'm doing the Metroid series right now, and a couple more adventure games. I'm thinking about doing Zelda after this, provided, if or provided there's no issues with you know, Nintendo and their copyright and stuff. But again, they really shouldn't, because I'm not making any money off of their stuff. If anything, they can claim it for all I care. I mean, yeah, it kind of stinks, but Konami already does that with my Silent Hill videos, so. But the weird thing about that is, they only claim like 5 seconds, and it's always at the beginning of the game. It's not even like it's a song or anything either. It's, oh, nope, I didn't go through the right door. I mean, if it was a song like Theme of Laura, which I'm sure they will when I do get to that game, um, that I can understand them doing the monetization on. But for like 5 seconds at the very beginning of the game, where it's just, you know, a screen and like a tiny bit of dialogue from the main character, and ultimately it's just him thinking about the situation, that's just really weird to monetize something like that. Or, I'm sorry, to put a claim on, is what I should be saying. I guess this is the room that I need to go in. I love it when that happens. It's funny. All right, we're finally out of here. Sorry that took so long. I'm gonna try and breeze through Kraid's area and then get on the mother brain. So no dilly dallying. Maybe I'll do the Castlevania series along with these. I've really wanted to beat a Castlevania game. I've never beaten one. Um, I've gotten close with Castlevania 1, but that's about it. But sadly, the only game that I have is Simon's Quest at the moment, which would be a fun game in and of its own right, despite what, some people say. But, yeah. Oh, no, wait, I need to go this way. Now, if I can find a Castlevania 1 and 3 on cartridges, I'll definitely play those. Uh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually playing this on an original NES. I don't do emulators and stuff. I think they have their place, but for like Twitch and stuff, especially considering how copyright is nowadays and stuff, I'd rather not tick anyone off using an emulator. Even though I own like probably six copies of this game. I've got the Game Boy Advance version. I've got it on WiiWare. I have it on NES. I've got the version on Metroid Prime. I've got the version on Metroid Zero Mission. It goes on and on. There truly would be no reason for them to get upset about that, especially considering how many copies I've bought. So, but regardless, I know, there's some people out there who don't like their games being played on emulators, and I can respect that. They want to protect their intellectual property and stuff. But at the same time, especially in terms of just playthroughs and stuff getting taken down because of copyright, I think that's a little lame. Because, like most people say, it's free publicity for your game. I mean, you shouldn't get too upset over it. But I digress. I, for one, don't make any money off of my videos, so as far as I'm aware, I don't have to worry too much about it. I wouldn't mind making some money off of my videos, but I don't have the fan base for it or the just the general views for it to begin with. Someday, though, I'm hopeful. And even then, I don't like monetized videos because then you have the ads in them and stuff. And, like I was saying earlier, I don't mind ads. I actually enjoy them, but I know that a majority of people nowadays don't like them, and the ads on YouTube just aren't all that fun. Unless it's playing like a video from someone else's channel, which It's kind of weird. I don't know why that's considered an advertisement, but I see that way more than way more than most. Ah, come on. Hmm. Well, let's just go. Nope, never mind. That is an easy way to get attacked. Come on, just mash that button. And eventually. There we go. But anyway, enough talk about YouTube policies and stuff. That's for another time and another channel to tackle on. But for those of you who are standing up against companies like that and stuff, good for you. I think it's admirable standing up for what you believe in. Especially when it comes in as something for free speech. Anywho, back down this area, our favorite part of the whole game. For this area though, I'm gonna do that start and up trick, because I am not going through that entire area again, or wasting my time up that again. Whatever. Actually, see how many bombs it takes to take him out. Provided he doesn't push me over anymore. I know it looks like I'm taking a lot of damage. And I will say again, I'm not too concerned about taking damage once I have the Variety suit and all these energy tanks. But also, you know, with Kraid, it's kind of weird. I have never seen a way to take him out without taking damage in general. If there is a way to do it, let me know, because I definitely don't know how to do it. Oh, right. I was gonna do the trick. Yay, another password that I don't need. Unless the game freezes on me. See, that's the problem with playing it on a cartridge and stuff. Especially on my NES. My NES has some issues with the pins here and there. I bought me a third-party replacement. It works. It's just I hate using it now because with those pins they're super tight, and the first night I got it I had to use a some kind of tool to pull it out, and that was no fun because it damages, or it cosmetics wise it damages your cartridges, and that's no fun. Nobody wants a scratch on their cartridge, even though that would be like the least of your issues. Anyway, we beat Kraid, we beat Ridley, all in considerably less amount of time than originally. So let's go pick up that energy tank. We'll go and take on Turian again. Hopefully they're courteous with their missile drops, unlike the first time, and I don't have to worry too much. What I'm really worried about right now is a lack of missiles when I do get down there. or running out of missiles before I get to the Zebatites. As long as I have enough missiles to get through all the Zebetite and stuff, and like enough to kill at least 10 Metroids before I go back, I'm happy. But again, luck can play a bit of a factor in there. And I could have some really bad luck there and not get anything. But let's keep optimistic about it, and we'll do our best. Or I'll do my best. Going back to the Saturn, or just Sega in general, I've got like all kinds of new goodies and stuff to show off for the Twitch channel and for the YouTube channel in general. Uh, just yesterday, I picked up a keyboard for the Dreamcast, which is fabulous, by the way. Tried it on games like Typing of the Dead and Quake 3. I even tried it on Unreal Tournament. That one was fun. I think Quake 3 is a little slow on Dreamcast, but I can't ding it too much because it is just a port. I just wish that it would work on some other consoles, like, or I wish it would work on other games for the console. Like, I really wish that the keyboard would work for games like Street Fighter, or I don't know, Illbleed. That would be fun. But I know that those do not work, so sadly, we won't be doing that. Heck, I don't even have those games in particular. Nah, I gotta wait for those. Gotta be careful with bombing. Wait, why am I going this way anyway? Goodness, I'm distracted. I was thinking there was another energy tank I needed to get. There is not. We are going to Torian. And should anything bad happen this time around, I'll more than likely just boot into Justin Bailey mode from the code screen and then just do it that way. Because all I'm really doing this one for at this point is just showing off the best ending. Which, even then, you know, that doesn't really matter. I mean, unless you want to see her in something skimpier than a leotard, all we're really gonna see is her in a bikini, which I, for one, could care less about. But you know, it's still kind of a cool thing just to get the full experience out of the game and stuff. I like getting all the endings. That's why I like games like Silent Hill and other games. What's another game with an alternate ending? Or with different endings and stuff? Halo has some alternate endings. Well, it's got a normal ending and then it's got a legendary ending, but that's about it. And then of course there's Fable, which I love to death. The first and second one, anyway. I haven't played the third or any of the other ones. But from what I hear, the third one's not all that great, and everything after that is just a spin-off. Kind of sad to see that. I want to see my Fable come back to its glory days where it was actually fun to play. Come on, give me missiles. Yes, thank you. No. I think there's a way to not take damage if you get into a ball. Nope, it still gives you damage. That's such a lame thing to do. I mean, at this point you should have full health, but, ugh, that's still so cheap. But not as cheap as not getting missile tanks. Ah! Give me missiles. And if you haven't noticed, if one is coming your way, screw attack at them, and it'll kind of bounce them back. Oh, that's not good. Come on, I don't want this to be a dead run. Oh no, come on. I'm down to 60, man. That should be an indicator that I need missiles. See, I like to think that it's just messing with me, and like as soon as I run out of missiles, every single one of them is going to have missiles in them, but it won't matter because I won't be able to kill them so I can get them. Alright, that was just unlucky to begin with. That's so mean. No. Oh, no. I thought he was gonna follow me in. That would not have been fun at all. No more energy. Come on. Oh, this is gonna be a dead run. Oh, I spoke too soon. Come on, baby. Give me more. No. Ugh. Alright. Come on. Oh, that's so brutal. Oh, no. I've only got so many more, and then I'm gonna have to stop. It knew. Oh, thank you. Come on, we can do it. Just give me like 2 more. Oh, man. And maybe pair yourselves together. Oh, I know something bad's just gonna happen and I'm gonna lose everything. Ugh. Add insult to injury. Man. It knows. It knows something. Y'all are just terrible today. Come on, I just need 2 missile packs. Oh! No more energy. Haven't y'all heard? Too much of one thing is unhealthy. I mean, look at me. I'm playing video games and I'm losing my mind. Well, I can't do anything anymore. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to reset the console. We are going to put in the Justin Bailey code, and we are going to basically come back and defeat Mother Brain that way. I do apologize that I have to resort to a cheat code, but again, I do want to show off that ending because I think it's really, really cool. And you know, this kind of stuff happens, but what can you do? Besides, this allows me to show off the cheat anyway. So, you push in Justin, not Judin, Justin Bailey. Like so, and then you put a bunch of zeros in on the bottom. Push to, oh, never mind. That's bizarre. Oh, I messed it up. I wonder if it's O's. Okay. Try dashes. Yeah, so then you have every item in the game, all except one energy tank, which we will get, and then you have like a butt ton of missiles. Every single missile in the game. The only problem is, you also have wave beam, which for us isn't all that great. Okay, and you also have Varia suit. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, see, now they're giving you missiles. Why couldn't you give me missiles down in Turian? But yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, I really tried, and you know, it all comes down to luck if they give you missiles or not. If I'd have spent more time and actually went out of my way to get more missile tanks, I probably could have gotten it all. But sadly, there's nothing I could have done at that point. I could have gone back and gone through it all, but I still want to show off that ending. So, yeah. Actually, yeah, we'll go through here because I still need the ice beam. But yeah, as you can see, I can actually show off the wave beam a little more here. This wave beam is incredibly powerful. Takes out most things here in, you know, 2 hits or less. And look at all that coverage. There's no way he's touching me. Now with screw attack on your side, anything's possible. Let's go get that energy tank first, and then we'll go back and get the ice beam. Boom. We're at full energy, full missiles. All we need is the ice beam. Oh, that really bums me out that I had to resort to this. I feel so dirty now. Such a noob. If anyone says that anymore. Oh. Oh, and all the doors with the Justin Bailey password are they're open. So, you don't have to waste missiles on that. You shouldn't have to waste missiles on anything from here on out, except for the Metroids and, of course, Mother Brain. But fortunately, we are more than prepared, or more than enough prepared for Turian. In fact, I don't even think I'll have to go back and get more missiles. If I do, then I will probably call it quits here. Or I might just show off the NAR password and, just go to show how much of a true noob I am sometimes. Originally, that's how I played this game. I just turned on the NAR password and I played to my heart's content. Uh, it was back when my Game Boy Advance was the game console I played the most of. Can't remember if I got that first or the GameCube first. Bet it was the GameCube. I'm going the wrong way again. Oh no. I'm glad I didn't fall any further. Freeze, fool. Oh, guess that door hasn't been opened yet. That's okay. All the mini bosses have also been defeated with that code, so you don't have to go through and do all that again. Thank goodness. That would be a nightmare. Anyway, let's go kill these Metroids. Watch, this guy's gonna have a missile pack or something like that. No, it's got energy, so that still would have been a pain in the rear to go down here. Huh, he only took 4 hits. But he had missiles. Cheeky little toad. And watch, now nothing else is... Why was that door still red, but these are all taken care of? That's so bizarre. Alright, come on. Give me missiles. Thank you. I'm just gonna leave him. I'll take him because he's in my way. What is up with the doors? That one door was open, but none of these red doors are. Except for the ones in the item rooms, but that's just bizarre. Nope, nothing. Oh well, I still have plenty of missiles. So long as I don't run out of any down here, I am happy. Really, I shouldn't have been wasting my missiles on any of those Metroids to begin with. I should have just been saving them. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I didn't. Fortunately, missiles for the win. Now we can just get some more. That would be fantastic. Wouldn't it be great if I could just cap them all off right here? Oh, so close. Oh, wait. I only go up to 205. Okay, whatever. Oh, the Zebetite's gone too. Or at least the first one is anyway. This code is weird. Wouldn't that be bizarre if Mother Brain just wasn't there? There is a code that you can put in where she doesn't show up and she's already defeated, and once you get to her, um, the timer just begins. But I didn't want to do that. That just seems really stupid. However, as far as codes go, why are they only taking out some but leaving others? That's so bizarre. If you want a code to trick your friends and stuff, I do recommend or there is one code that you can look up. I don't know it off the top of my head because I never use it, but if you want to make your friends go through the game in the worst way possible, um, there's a code that makes it so that you spawn right in Turian from the from the very beginning, but you have like no power-ups. So you can't get out of there because you don't have the missiles, and you can't defend yourself because you only have your normal beam from the beginning that doesn't even make it all the way across the map or the screen. So yeah, if you want to be that kind of guy to your friends, you know, no one's stopping you. Technically, I've seen some people who can just shoot missiles here and just go to town on her. I have never been able to perfect the rhythm that you need to do it in, because you have to hit her in that specific spot. Oh, she stopped pulsing. Oh, never mind. She's still doing the mamma jamma. Sorry for the epilepsy there again. Or not epilepsy, the seizures. Kind of hurts my head just looking at it, just thinking about it. Hooray! Well, this feels more like an escape of shame. Again, I do apologize for that run through. It was going so well till I got to the Metroids and stuff. That would have been great if they'd have just refilled all my missiles. Ugh. Yay, I guess. I'm gonna be very disappointed if I don't get the best ending for doing that either. I should be, or it should be, turning her into Bikini Samus, but you never know. Anyway, same as before. Oh no! It gave me something worse. That's the worst ending. Dang. Wow. Alrighty. Well, guess it just goes to show cheaters never win. I'll probably come back to it at some point, but I've had you guys on for long enough. I will show off what what the other code is. The NAR password. So that one's pretty dope. Um, that's about it as far as codes go. I've got a code book around here from like back in elementary school, which has the codes for it, but I don't feel like digging that out. Well, at least I showed you guys two different endings. I showed you guys the second best ending, and then I showed you guys the very worst ending, which doesn't even look back at you. So there's like 5 or 6 endings. There's that ending, which is what you get if you don't beat the game in less than 10 hours. There's the game, or the ending that you get if you beat it in under 8 hours. It's either 8 hours or 5 hours. There's an ending that you get um, where if you beat it in less than 4 hours, I guess, you get her with her helmet off. If you beat it in, or the ending before that, she just kind of stands there. She doesn't turn her head away or anything like that. But no, she takes off her helmet in the third ending, which is cool. And then the second best ending is, she takes off her armor and it's just her in a leotard. Then the best ending is her in a bikini. That's if you beat it in less than an hour. And unfortunately, we did not. I'll have to show that off another time. But for now, I'll show off the NAR password just to prove that it's there. My roommates are so weird sometimes. Or at least one of them is. Um, anyway, NAR password 000000000000, or just fill the rest of the codes with 0. And then once you boot up, you are invincible. It looks like you're taking damage, but that counter will only go from 39 to 30. Also, cool thing, your ice beam has a bit of a different design. It looks kind of like a combination of the wave beam and the ice beam. Don't know why that's there. I guess it's just specific to the NAR password. It might have been a debug password or something, so they could just play around with it without dying and whatever. Anyway, all the items are around and stuff, but you don't need them. You have every single item. And even though it looks like I don't have a Varia suit, I actually do have Varia suit. But even then, it wouldn't matter anyway. You don't need it. But, yeah. Anyway, there, it turns back to Varia. That's about it. You also have unlimited missiles, even though it doesn't show that you have missiles. You can go through this game in this mode. You have to beat all the mini bosses like you normally would, unless you're just that good and can abuse the ice beam on an enemy that flies through the door with you. Then you can just bounce off of him. But if not, that's pretty much same as before. You just go through and you kill all the mini bosses, then go and whoop some mother brain butt. But yeah, that's about it. Next time I'll go ahead and play some Zero Mission. And then after that, if I'm still going on with the Metroid stuff, I'll go on to Prime. Now, technically I'm not playing these games by release date. I am playing these in the chronological order of the story. So it goes Metroid, Metroid Zero Mission, um, which is just a remake of the first game, but it has a little more to it. Um, then Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime Hunters, which I will not be playing because I don't have a way to record footage off of my DS. And with the DS that I have right now, the DSi, unfortunately the shoulder buttons are not very functional. Um, so no go on that one. Instead, I'll be going on to Metroid Prime 2, then Prime 3, and then after that, I'll jump on over to Metroid 2, The Return of Samus for the Game Boy, uh, Super Metroid, if I can find a way to do that without an emulator. Um, I have the Super Nintendo Classic, and I think I have the game on Wii. I'd prefer to play it on the Super Nintendo hardware though, just to keep it samey and stuff. So that's how I'm gonna do Super Metroid. I'm actually gonna do that on the Super Game Boy. Um, Unless you guys have a different opinion, you guys might want me to play it on the Game Boy player for the GameCube. Uh, to which I will say I have no problem with that. I think it looks better on there. But for old-timey sake, I'll do it on the Super Game Boy, unless you guys want different. And then after Super Metroid, I will go on to Metroid Other M. And that'll be pretty much as far as I can go. Wouldn't be able to do Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS because, first of all, I don't have a 3DS. And second of all, I wouldn't be able to record it anyway. Um, and then as far as, Federation Force, again, I don't have a 3DS and I wouldn't be able to record it anyway. So I'll be sure to get I'll basically be getting all the main games out of the way, minus Metroid Return to Samus, or Samus Returns, which is just a remake of Metroid 2, so not missing much, just better graphics and a couple little things here and there. But anyway, you guys have a fantastic night. I will see you guys next time. I hope you all enjoyed. Take care.